We are starting to see the creation of a new business model, one that wasn't possible before without NFTs. And this new business model has the potential to revolutionize entire industries. And that's exactly what we are going to be talking about in today's video. Now, historically, most technologies that were able to scale and gain mainstream adoptions are the ones that benefit from what we call network effect, where the more a product or a service or a company becomes used, the more valuable it becomes, which drives even more revenue, which drives even more use case, which drives even more onboarding. It's a positive self-feeding loop. So what do I mean by that? Let's say, for example, Instagram. Let's say you're the only user on Instagram and you're out there posting. There's absolutely no use case for that. Now, if all of a sudden all your friends are on Instagram, now all of a sudden there's a lot more use case on Instagram. Now, what happens when your friends and family join Instagram? And then what happens when the wider population becomes part of Instagram? You can start building your business, you can start advertising your service, you can start making friends with people you haven't met before. And all of a sudden, the more people join a service, the more it becomes valuable, which drives even more use case to that. Now, the same thing happened for Google with the internet search browser. The more people are active on the internet, more people are going to come into the internet to start writing blog articles, to start producing content on there, which is going to make the internet even more of a valuable place, which is going to drive even more eyeballs and attention on the internet, which is going to bring even more content creators. So all of a sudden you create that self-feeding loop. Now, what we are seeing with NFTs is the beginning of a self-feeding loop that wasn't possible before without NFT technology. Here's what I mean exactly. Recently, Yuga Labs, the founders of Bored Ape Yacht Club, teased this new launch, this new innovation that they're about to roll out called Made by Apes. And Made by Apes is an on-chain verification for the different Bored Ape Yacht Club members or the Mutant Ape Yacht Club members that are building IP brands around their apes. Now, this is incredibly exciting because what we are seeing, what this is creating, is the beginning stages of a positive feedback loop that exists in the IP space, the intellectual property space that was not possible before. So what is going to start happening, if you don't know, there are hundreds of brands that have been built around the Bored Ape IP. For example, we're seeing Bored Ape holders create brands like Mutant Grapes, which is a wine company. We have a bunch in the beverage industry, whether that's Bored Breakfast, Bored Coffee, Bored Labs, Ape Water. We have a lot of different brands that are building in very different industries. And you can see right here, I have an IP ecosystem map of all the brands that are building on top of the Bored Ape IP. And the list keeps getting bigger. Now, what is this going to happen? And why do I say that this is the very first positive feedback loop that is being created in the IP space? Is because let's say one of these brands, let's say Ape Water, all of a sudden breaks out of the startup phase and all of a sudden becomes a household brand in the beverage industry. All of a sudden, this brand has its entire IP, has its entire brand based around the Bored Ape Yacht Club branding, the Bored Ape Yacht Club IP. And what this is going to do is the more recognized Ape Water becomes, all of a sudden the more recognized Bored Ape Yacht Club becomes. And it's going to start creating that positive feedback. Initially, the brands with the IP are going to benefit from the association with Bored Ape Yacht Club. And then their success is going to start fueling even more brand recognition, even more brand value within the Bored Ape ecosystem. Now imagine until all the other brands out there latch onto this idea and understand the value of association, understand the value of giving holders the ability to monetize their IP that is associated with your brand. All of a sudden, you're going to be able to recreate that feedback loop in almost every single industry. Now, a lot of Web2 giants do not have a business model built around that model. Coca-Cola can't outsource their IP for anyone. So we're going to see a lot of giants getting their business models disrupted, and we're going to see the creation of a lot of new companies, the new Instagrams, the new Airbnbs, the new products that are going to come out of Web3 that have a Web3 native business model that benefits from this network effect and that scales, and that is going to scale a lot faster than typical Web2 brands that are not going to utilize the network effect. So at the end of the day, in a capitalistic society, the most efficient business model always ends up winning in a long enough time frame. And Web3 business model is starting to shape as one that is more efficient than Web2 business model. I'm personally incredibly excited for the future. I can't wait to see how this industry is going to keep evolving and what it's going to be looking like in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years. With that said, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna attach a video right here that I think you're gonna enjoy to continue learning on how you can build brands in Web3 and shape the future of this space together. I'll see you in the very next video. Ciao.